Alright, YouTube, David Harry here. Now, are you a LumaFusion user? And are you using LumaFusion on either an iPad Pro 2020 or an iPad Pro 2021 M1? And are you wanting to use your iPad Pro with the LumaFusion on it connected to an external TV or monitor? If that is the case, then you need to watch this video. What I'm going to do in this video is show you a whole bunch of things on how to connect various things to the iPad Pros in order to get your LumaFusion out to an external TV or monitor. I will also explain some technical stuff as I go along here, which may be useful and helpful and stuff like that. Now, there's also going to be chapter markers for this video because it is quite involved and it will have a whole bunch of different sections and stuff. Also as well, there will be links in the description below to where you can go and get either of these cables or the actual USB C hub that I'm going to be using in this video. So let me get on with it. So the first solution is the Dockteck USB C hub system. This has got a permanent USB C cable attached to it for plugging straight into the iPad Pro M1. And as far as the ports are concerned, what we have got from left to right are a USB C port, which is typically used for charging and powering, but can also be used for data. Next to that, we have got two USB A ports, which operate at USB 3 speeds. And then next to those two ports, we have got a full-size and SD card reader, which are both fast. And then next to that, we've got the all-important HDMI interface as well. And something really important, which I will show you about this particular interface. Not only is it 4K 60, but it will give us full height on the output of the iPad, and will also give us full screen playback with the actual preview from LumaFusion. And then on the opposite end that connects via USB-C to your iPad, we have a gigabit Ethernet port. And to use this hub with the iPad Pro M1 2021, we simply just plug the USB-C cable from the port straight into the USB-C socket on the iPad, and then just connect the HDMI cable that you've got connected to your monitor or your TV to the HDMI port on the hub. Now, unfortunately, this particular hub will only work with the iPad Pro M1 2021. It will not work properly with the iPad Pro 2020, so do not buy this one for your iPad Pro 2020. However, this USB-C to HDMI cable by CableCreation will work with your iPad Pro 2020 and also the iPad Pro 2021 M1. As we can see, one end of this cable is USB-C and the other end of the cable is HDMI. And once again, we just simply connect the USB-C end of this cable into the USB-C port on the iPad Pro 2020 or indeed the 2021 M1, and then connect the HDMI end of the cable into your TV or your monitor. Now, this cable is about 1.8 meters long. It is also HDR compatible, and just like the hub, this will give us our full height HDMI output and will also play the output from LumaFusion in full screen as well. And as a bonus as well, here is another cable by CableCreation. Now, this one is USB-C on one end and it is also DisplayPort on the other. So if you have no option but a DisplayPort input on your monitor, you can use this cable. This will do the exact same things as the previous cable will do. However, this one can actually go up to 8K. I won't be showing this cable only because it is going to do the exact same thing as the other cable. And so to the good stuff then, let me show you what these things all do. Now, the only problem here is I'm going to have to go Dutch with me filming angle here, and that's just because the room's too small and I can't really get the space and the angle right. However, we should be able to see what's going on here. So what I've got right now is the iPad Pro M1 2021 with the Dockteck. There it is there. So that is the USB-C hub, and that's obviously connected via HDMI into the TV. Now, a couple of quick important things to point out here. When we look at the TV there, what we're doing right now is just basically mirroring the output or mirroring the screen of the iPad to the TV or the monitor. This is actually a computer monitor. But what would happen if you don't use the right cables or the right interfaces, and this is actually probably more than 50% of them out there can't do this properly. What happens is you will start getting letterboxing as well as pillar boxing. So right now, these black bars that you see at the side of the TV or the monitor, that's normal because what's happening here, the iPad's aspect ratio is just being plopped straight into the center of a 16:9 screen. On an 11-inch iPad, you're talking close to like 3:2 for the aspect ratio, and on the 12.9-inch iPad, you're definitely talking, I think it's 4:3 for that. So slightly different aspect ratios between the two different sized iPads, and both of them just actually get centered into the 16:9 screen on the output. So what I'm saying is the pillar boxing is normal. However, if this wasn't the proper good cable or proper good USB-C hub system, we would also be seeing letterboxing at the top and the bottom. So effectively what would happen, the entire interface would get even shrunk further into the screen in 16:9 there. Okay, so that's a very important thing to point out. I'm basically saying this is brilliant. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just treat this initially as if we don't look at the iPad screen. What we're doing is basically looking at the TV or the monitor, and we're just using a TV or a monitor just to have a bigger version of, like, you know, the LumaFusion interface and stuff. So let me just play some stuff on here. I'll just go through this little quick edit, and as it's playing through, I'll kind of go big with the video inside the LumaFusion interface. Let you see what that looks like. Okay, so what I've done there is just effectively replaced the use of the iPad for looking at the LumaFusion interface with the monitor. Now, what we're going to do is probably why people would want to do this, and that is to put the preview video out to the big monitor, but we still edit within the actual interface on the iPad. So what we do here, there's a little switch over the side here. I'll try and zoom in. It's going to look a bit weird, but that little switch there, we click on that, and then that will suddenly put the preview window on its own to the monitor. Now watch this. Boom. Look at that. Right, now before I start playing anything here, I have to say to you, what it is, the output of the iPad isn't actually 4K, or the GUI isn't. However, it upscales. But what it is right now, this looks like it's 4K. I mean, I don't know if I can find this information anywhere on the LumaFusion site, but the output, if it is not 4K, it's being upscaled amazingly well, is what I'm trying to say. It looks awesome. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is basically look at the iPad for the edit and stuff, and then the output there to the actual monitor is our actual video output of the timeline. Now look at this. Right, so I'll just pause this a second. You may notice that on the actual iPad, the picture might start going jerky. Don't worry about that, because we're not meant to be monitoring that. This is now designed to be monitored on the TV or the monitor, and it is perfect. So let me just show you that again. Okay, so that should do for that. Now let me switch over to the 2020. Okay, so the 2020 then, and I've already done all that boring techie stuff, so I don't have to redo that now. So this is all basically the exact same thing as far as like aspect ratio, size and all that type of stuff is concerned. But this time we're using the 2020 with the USB C to HDMI cable by CableCreation. So it's just plugged in there into the side of the iPad. Now what I'm going to do first of all is let's just pretend once again that we don't have the iPad in front of us, but we are doing everything with a mouse and a keyboard straight to a big 4K monitor. Say big, it's 27 inches, it's not exactly massive. You could actually do some real damage on a massive telly though. Anyway, so what we'll do here, let's just go through this. Okay, so once again, all I've done there is just basically mirrored the iPad, and that's because we might just want to use LumaFusion on a bigger screen. Now what I'm going to do is flip over to the thing where we just use the external monitor just for the preview, and I've got to say here, this is insane because I'm playing 4K 60 here, and this definitely looks like it's 4K coming out the back of LumaFusion. In fact, I'm going to have to put this video on the LumaFusion forum and ask someone from LumaFusion or LumaTouch, can they confirm what the output is here? It is absolutely amazing. Anyway, so let's flip over to here. I'll also go just back down to the start of that clip. Now watch this. Now the thing is there, I don't know, I mean, it could still be somewhere around 2.5K. What it is, the iPads effectively are somewhere around 2.5K for the internal rendering for their own screens. It may well be that, and then it's just upscaled. However, because we are going to a full 16:9 output here, I've got a feeling that LumaFusion totally bypasses any of that scaling stuff that the iPads do, and it actually is sending out the the right resolution picture. It most certainly looks that way. Now I could be wrong here, and if I make a fool of myself, then fair enough, but this looks amazing. Just one quick little blast there. Seriously, you can't see this, but that just looks amazing. The other thing as well, it's 60 frames per second, and of course this camera is only shooting 25, and it's obviously not like synced to the monitor or anything like that for refresh rates and things, but it looks amazing. Anyway, to an end summary. Okay, so to an end summary then, and I'll keep this short because there's nothing to summarize. What it is, I've just shown everything that I would probably have needed to have shown on how you use LumaFusion as well, with the external monitor as well as the hardware and all that stuff, and bits of technical information that may well have been useful to people. Now, I obviously didn't touch upon the iPad Pro 2018 here, or is it maybe the iPad Air, the most recent one, has got USB C on, I think. The only reason why I didn't go into these things is because I don't know. I've never used them, so I can't guarantee any of these cables or either the USB C hub. I don't know if they work with them, so unfortunately I can't help with that. However, as you've seen, if you're on the 2020 or the M1, yes, you've got options open to you here as well. And just I want to reiterate that whole point again about using the right cables and the right hubs for these things. Otherwise, you will impact upon the video signal that comes out. Also, I will be doing a very in-depth video about this Dockteck hub with the iPad Pro 2021 M1 very soon, because as anyone can tell watching this video, this can be used just with the iPad for absolutely anything. And I will tell you right now, this is the singular best USB-C hub for the iPad Pro M1 2021, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. And I will go into a long, lengthy video about that. Also as well, for anybody who's interested, I will be doing a video with this hub and my MacBook Air M1, because again with that, it is absolutely outstanding. Anyways, I think that'll do for this video, and once again there will be links for this stuff within the descriptions below. Also as well, if you've taken anything positive from this video, please give us a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel, getting all of that bell notification icon, share the video and all the rest of it, because I'm trying to get to 2 million subscribers by the end of next week. Oh yes, before I forget, I will be doing a whole bunch of videos with LumaFusion, so if you are into LumaFusion, you might want to check out the playlist that I'm going to start building up. Maybe even subscribe to the channel just for that as well. Anyways, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.